This week's Parsha of Eikev has the commandment, the one and only biblical commandment of a blessing that we are supposed to say. In the phrase, V'achalta v'savata uveirachta, you shall eat, you shall be satisfied, and you shall bless God. This is the source of our Birkat HaMazon, the grace after meals. And while many people are familiar with the blessings that we say before we eat, what we are really basically commanded to do is the blessing after we eat. For those who have been to a meal where the grace after meals is recited, you might notice and you might have experienced that it's very long. Instead of just being, thank you God for the food, we enjoyed it, we love you, and that's the end, amen, we notice that there is a whole litany of things that we talk about at the table and during the Birkat HaMazon. Why do we do this, and what's the reason for having this whole expansive approach to the grace after meals? So I'd like to offer a couple of different ideas for us to think about. When we have eaten and have a sense of satiety and we are satisfied, we have an opportunity to use that sense of well-being and like, oh, that was such a delicious meal, it was wonderful, to piggyback on that and think about other things for which we are also grateful. It's not always easy to think about being satisfied because, frankly, a lot of times we're not satisfied. So when we have a chance to feel physically satisfied, we can use it as an opportunity to think about other things that also give us satisfaction. We thank God for the land of Israel, from the Exodus from Egypt, for the Torah, for the mitzvot, for Brit Milah, for being the Jewish people, for the coming of Mashiach, the rebuilding of Jerusalem. We add everything else in because we have such a great opportunity to connect our feeling of satisfaction with other things that we should be feeling grateful for all the time, but which we might not really actually do. So that's one reason. The second is we want to remember why it is we are eating. While we want to have a wonderful experience, a tasty food, delicious food, which we know even at our highest moments of joy and happiness, we connect to rich food. Our songs on Shabbat talk about basar v'dagim v'chol matamim, fish and meat and fish and all sorts of delicacies, because we're supposed to have a wonderful physical experience at the same time we're having a heightened spiritual experience. We bring both together. But lest we forget that our meal was more than just for our bodies, but also an opportunity to engage our souls and our neshamas and to remember what it is we are doing in this world. So we take this opportunity again of satiety to say, why did I eat that food? What is my ultimate purpose? Oh, it wasn't just to have a steak or even a wonderful piece of warm bread and butter and delicious to enjoy. It is because I'm here for a spiritual reason. So for that reason, we are also connecting and saying, I didn't forget why I was really here and the true reason for why I am really eating. The third and final piece I want to mention is that we take time to express our appreciation for many aspects of our life because it makes us happier and it actually enhances our enjoyment of the food that we ate. Research has been done for people who are drinking different kinds of wine, that the people who take the time to swish and swirl and smell and do all the things that wine tasting and wine tasters do, report a more favorable impression of the wine than they have had, compared to people who just take the wine and drink it. So the more we add into our physical experience of eating, the truth is the more we enjoy our food. We can take a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, a piece of toast, a bagel and cream cheese, lox added in for extra good measure, and we can take that and use it as a vehicle for a heightened spiritual and physical experience. Thankfully, the message and the commandment comes to us for eating just simply bread. We don't have to wait for the special moment when we have a prime rib or we have something very unusual, but rather, on the other hand, that it's something very ordinary like a piece of bread, a sandwich, and we use that as a vehicle to elevate our spiritual experience. This Parsha of Eikev is a reminder to us of what we are doing in this world, having a heightened experience, connecting to everything in our lives that we feel grateful for and are appreciative of, and that makes us ultimately happier and more satisfied people. Have a wonderful Shabbos and hope you enjoy a lot of good food and good treats.